Hello friends and welcome. Today we are going to do some case studies in decision making. Going to try to focus on mid to late game. A lot of people ask that. It's really hard to make a video explaining this because like with the nuances of Dota, like every mid to late game decision is different. So we are going to work towards that, but in the meantime, let's just look at some and discuss. I know this first one we're doing 14 minutes. That's like the end of the early game, start of the mid game, so not quite into late game yet, but we're just going to do some little small case studies like this and hopefully help explain the decision-making process, things to think about, look for, so you can understand whether what you're doing is good or not. So we are going to start with this Archon Skywrath Mage game. I think it was position 5, and you said at 14:45, like you kind of died under tower. Was it a feed? Was it a reasonable death? Let's start back about a minute so that we have more context. So you guys recently took bottom, and then let's see. The tombstone being used, and we pick up another kill on Slark. And then looks like you have some wards, so you're doing some warding. Okay. It wasn't part of your question, but this ward might be a little overlapping with this one. Especially with the Slark who knows when he's being spotted. You might want to split them up a little more. But anyways, we're coming here. You guys recently got those kills, but we're a little slow on pushing this, so everyone is about to respawn now. Okay, and I see you coming in here. So when your team is pushing mid, this can be a good thing to do to spot rotations. Prior to walking in here, your team has no vision, so you don't know if people are teleporting in. You do have a Riki here, though, and I saw you auto-attack the tower. So if you do that, the enemy can see that you are standing there. So now it's like, I can see here, but they know I'm here, so they know I know they're TPing it or not, right? We're getting kind of like, we're giving information back and forth like this. So if you're just trying to stand here for vision, you may not actually want to attack. If you're attacking, it's kind of like, I think we can take this, and I can reveal my position. If you're ever unsure, though, you should probably not attack so that you can get out safely. And currently, let's take the people who are pushing. You got a Storm Spirit who can zip out. You got a Riki who's invis, who's got some jumps. They're both more mobile than you. So actually, if someone's going to reveal themselves, or if someone's going to take the risk of standing in here and possibly reveal themselves, Riki's actually better than you for this. And that way you can stay further back and more out of danger. Do we want to be doing this, though? Because we did use Tombstone earlier. Storm is a bit low on mana. She's got 3 mangoes. Maybe he's not that low on mana. But they are all up, and I do see some heroes in the area, some people who are very good at defending high ground. So is it reasonable to push mid after taking this bottom? I would say so, but I also think this tower is not so low that you need to go all in for this as a team. So let's see what happens. I mean, it looks like you're all attacking, and then here's the Slark TPing in, and so I see you moving in. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, do we actually need to do this as a team? There's no Tombstone, which would have been super good in the situation, but this Storm Spirit's also operating on half mana right from the get-go. So I already kind of feel like this is a bit forced, more than it needs to be. You know what? Let's keep playing it through before we talk further. So huge Quap ult hits 3, Storm zips in. Note, he's now out of mana. You 3 are dead. And now we do pick up a sniper kill, but Storm probably dead, I would guess. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to that. Let's go back to about here. Now we're pushing this tower. Okay, there's some trees broken. There's some replay bugs. Decision time, right? Like, should we stay and fight this tower? I would say now, with several heroes missing and Slark, having respawned, just back off. What's going to happen? So we have set up our vision, and this is kind of why, like, one thing I was harping on this ward, let's say you put it here. This cliff, more likely to be dewarded. But if you plan on doing something here, then vision in this area is really good. So for example, what your team could do right now is simply fall off from the tower, come stand in this area where you have good vision, and you can farm all these camps, which some of them are already farmed right now, but it's 1440, they'll respawn. And we're just going to see what the enemy does. And if the enemy starts walking under the towers, under the observers we have placed here, we can just kill them. And then suddenly it becomes a lot easier to push this tower because it's not 5-on-5, it's like 5-on-4, 4-on-3, that kind of thing, because actually your Sand King's down here farming. Sorry, I was trying to remember what I was gonna say. If they don't go mid and they go top, and guess what? Okay, I also know I can push mid because now I see a couple heroes top, and maybe they TP in, but that's a slower rotation. And what you were doing is to spot rotations. However, if most heroes have walked here and then only one person TPs, that's 3 seconds. If multiple people have to TP in, at least a couple of them are going to hit 5+ seconds of channel time, so you have a lot more time to get out of a dangerous position. So I would say this is, it's not like a straight feed on your part, but it is like over aggressive by the team and very avoidable, so that when like a fight does start, the mistake on your individual part is that you shouldn't be moving in at this time because we just don't have enough information. This is not the right time to do it. You can cast your spells to slow them and mess it up, but it should be to disengage right now and get out of here. And then, like I said, either just completely scatter, wait till you have like another pickoff chance, you got everything, then regroup and go, or like come camp here, wait for a better opportunity. Next, this is a low Immortal Tusk game. I'm not the best at Tusk, but let's see. There's a fight coming up at 20 minutes, so let's just get some context again. I see about 4 people bottom. How's our team doing? Looks like a fairly even game. You got Boots. What Shadow Fiend got? Working on BKB. So part of me already thinking, like, if we don't have the BKB, I may not want to fight yet, especially against this Leshrac and Lion. That's a little scary. He's, you know, probably another minute or 2 off, which is, I very much doubt he's going to finish by 20 minutes. We maybe don't want to fight yet. PA looks like also still not quite, you know, ready to fight. This is still like a farming phase. Veno kind of ready. Looks like he's got a 4-staff on the way. So right now, I would want to play more around your Venomancer rather than, you know, SF. I'd want SF to finish BKB before we really start playing with him. If a fight's going to happen, let's see where it happens. Right now, it looks like there's 4 people bottom, but maybe it's going to happen mid if they rotate to defend. All right, I see one person walking over. The tower falls, so this is now the time where if they're going to do something, they might TP over. You do take this tower pretty quickly, though. All right. And we're falling back, but they're all missing. Okay, they're coming over. Team's got to get in position for this. Okay, so I think this is your question. Should you just go on these soul-bound targets right now? I've just realized that Leshrac has Aegis, so I am very much of the opinion that I don't really want to fight right now. Without seeing the rest of this fight, I would say this is like, let's just dodge him right now. Like Venomancer, set up a bunch of wards. The supports will all just like throw out wave clear spells. We got Stroke of Fate, we got Ice Shards. Just keep chucking those out. SF needs to keep splitting around, trying to get this BKB. And then PA, she's still in farm mode, okay? She's like Treads and Battle Fury almost, right? She's still going to need some time. So I don't want to fight them directly unless I think it's a really good fight. And this is like 5 heroes coming up to my tier 2. So I'm not loving that. I'm leaning towards just stall out with 3 heroes. Probably put a sentry here, maybe an observer over here. You don't need it, actually. You've got the Venomancer. You do have this DD on SF, but I just don't know if you really want to fight without this BKB. So let's now see what happens. Should you go in? This is where you were wondering. Like, I mean, if you go in here, you're gonna kill Leshrac, and he's just gonna respawn. You know, and maybe you kill Undying too. But in the meantime, you're gonna have to kill this Tombstone, and then you're gonna have to get out. This DDSF is hitting pretty hard. There sure are a lot of Tombstone zombies building up on him. Punch Tusk, or Punch Pudge. Actually, right now, it looks fairly decent. Ice Shards on Lion. Alright, I guess I was wrong. Let's look at it again. Alright, guys, I can be wrong, so I definitely didn't think this was a fight we wanted to take. I will say I think the enemy's execution was not great. So I kind of stand by what I said. This is where like pubs are weird, right? Just because you predict something and like it makes sense doesn't mean it's going to happen. So let's actually watch this fight again and why it doesn't quite actually work out. So even though I thought it was a bad fight, why did it work? So right now, Shadow Fiend's TPing in, and we essentially have 4 Radiant heroes around here against 2 heroes right now. Monkey King's close, Lion's close, and Pudge is actually kind of far. So by the time some of this goes on, if I were you, I still probably wouldn't have gone on this because I like, so to your point, your original question, like, should you have initiated here? I probably wouldn't have because I don't think this is the fight to take. I guess once I see Shadow Fiend commit in like this, I am more likely to go in. However, I still think probably your main role is to cancel these Pudge ults, possibly save people with Snowball when like Lion and Monkey King are stunning everyone. So I kind of like that you were waiting. I think that was the right call. And then I just feel like these two are dying, and I don't know, Monkey King and Lion were like close enough, but they still didn't do anything this whole time until like right now. So that part feels a little weird to me. Like Pudge's missing the hook. You snowballed in, and then he doesn't get to like ult here because like this is happening. Leshrac hasn't done a thing during all this because of like the soul bind and everything going on. So like, I think the enemy's execution was poor, but I don't know if I could have predicted it from your perspective that it would go that well, you know, because like we didn't have amazing vision at the start of this, like kind of did, but like we couldn't see up this cliff to start. And so like I didn't know that, like I didn't know where Lion and Monkey King were. And I would have thought they were closer in the smoke, but then they just like didn't. So I don't know, one of those funny things where you know, I'm definitely not perfect. I still don't think like this is a great fight to take, even though he has DD and like it clearly worked out. I still think tactically I would have avoided this fight. I feel like that has a higher chance of working out. Just like stall out with these three heroes, sacrifice his tower, but enter the next fight with BKB and like maybe another partial item on PA, you know, and hopefully they split up and you can find some kills. But yeah, that's my take on it. All right, and then your next question is about a fight happening at 39:30. So it looks like your team just took Roche. We again have a DD. Well, it's Grimstroke. He's got Ags, PA, BKB in the backpack, Venomancer pretty farmed. Looks like your team is in the lead. Just doing a quick check on everyone's like stuff. Okay, so more or less everyone has everything right now except Monkey King, who doesn't have BKB, which is pretty significant. So let's see. Let's fight come up. You took bottom racks. Let's see. I see Leshrac up here. Okay, you see Leshrac coming back though, so you know he's coming to defend. Let's keep an eye on Undying as well. Undying is pushing bot, so we have a little bit of time, but he's now disappeared. Could be on his way. All right, so I see a PA hook. So this is unfortunate. This is where I'd probably have just been letting SF hit things. In my opinion, what should happen is Venomancer should, we can't talk today. Venomancer should set up vision on one side or the other. It doesn't really matter which. Your wards are actually quite even, so really either side would have worked. But like, Venomancer puts wards over here, right? Shadow Fiend stands somewhere over here, keeping the creeps like between him and the angle that they can't see where Pudge could hook from, and then using the vision from these to hopefully like predict the rest. Then you have like the rest of you just standing back, and PA should also be standing back in my opinion. So since PA was melee, she's like standing on the wrong side where you don't have vision, she gets hooked in. So should you just jump in instantly? She has the Aegis, so I kind of think letting the first Aegis go is fine. I think the Shadow Fiend ult might be a few seconds too early. Oh, I see what you mean about really waiting to the last second there. Okay, I think it would have gone a little sooner. Started to make me nervous. I think around here, I think you gotta like jump in and like punch. I guess punch Leshrac, I would say, because Pudge already used his stuff, I feel. I think punch Leshrac. Possibly like snowball grab the PA right now, so that at the end of snowball she'll have BKB and Satanic. I think that would be like the safer play right here. She like almost died, you know? So like, I guess your question is like, should I have gone in, like what was the minimal amount of time? Yeah, I think the minimal amount of time is huge because You just needed to buy her enough time to press BKB Satanic. So for example, BKB was backpacked because of the Aegis. So you just need to buy her enough time that this comes off of the backpack cooldown. Plus, like, in the snowball, she is spamming BKB Satanic right now, like, go, 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 go. And then the second the snowball ends, both activate instantly, and then she, like, hits some people. But if she's, like, being chain stunned and killed, there may be no guarantee. So I do think you should probably go in here and grab her. Fortunately, she did manage to get them off on her own, and then you initiated. But, like, if she had died here, it would have been a very difficult fight, you know? If you die but you save her and she's like healthy again because she's Satanic and BKB and you die really early, like that's still a winnable fight. So in my opinion, I do think you probably should have gone in here a little bit earlier. I totally understand it's a hard call to make. Tusk scares me, right? He's a tough hero to make these calls, like save, initiate, all that stuff. But to me, this looks like someone you've invested, a lot of time developing net worth. I definitely want to save them, and here you are, like 2/5 of the net worth. So I would just jump in, snowball her, and then job complete. Whatever else you can do, that would be great. If you can like 4-staff yourself out, something like that, get to like come back in later, great. But if you die on that, I think that would be worth it. Possibly the last one we definitely need to do in this video. I really like this comment because it has timestamps. It's got the whole analysis. I tricked you into reviewing your own game. This helps me a lot because it gives me a lot of direction. So pro tip, it increases your chance of getting picked. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest. It makes things a lot easier for me to check out. So we're definitely going to take a look at this game. And looks like you guys had a 20K lead. Looks like we're at 15K right now. And then you throw. So how's that happen? So let us talk about how to close out a game, because this will be different every game, but also kind of similar. So let's like pull it all together. Let's check out net worth. Let's recap together. Looks like Zeus closing in on a Aghanims. Puck, that's the person who submitted it. Pretty farmed. Let's see, Bloodseeker. Offlane Bloodseeker. Right. Because I was about to be like, very strange. But I remember you told me it was offlane Bloodseeker. Oh, yeah. Where is the bear? The bear's got Deso, Maelstrom, all this. Working on the AC. Rubik also working on Ags. All right. So I feel pretty comfortable for your team right now. You're 15K up. You have Aegis. How long do you have left on it? 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. So the next question is like, how do we break high ground? Step one, how dangerous is high ground? That's always an important question to ask. And it's a mix of like your team versus their team. On their team, I see an Echo Slam with the Blink Dagger. This is always high risk. Like, this is the classic way you throw. The fissures and the blink echoes, all of this stuff. So very scary on that front. Hoodwink, mixed. She's not like, I don't necessarily think of her and think, oh, this is very dangerous in high ground. However, the bushwhack stuns can be pretty dangerous because you naturally clump up. And then she's got the shard for the extra damage boost. And then the sharpshooter is often a way to like finish off a kill really quickly if your team has enough stuns. And looking at them, they do have stuns. So that's also adding in a bit of risk to me. Shadow Fiend ult, also a bit scary, though Shadow Fiend looks like he's not having the best game. So we can put him down on the risk a little bit. However, Requiem of Souls, especially as a follow-up to an Echo Slam, could be really scary as the AoE fear affects everyone trying to like help. Like you have a carry here, everyone trying to like rush in to help. The Requiem pushes everyone away. So that can be a very good wombo combo follow-up. And then Doom, we always have to respect this Doom as a way to just negate an entire hero. So all these net worths just gone, And we do have the Aegis, so at least Lone Druid should be somewhat protected to that. On our side, how good are we at hitting buildings safely? We do have this bear. This usually helps a lot in terms of how safe you can push high ground. I feel okay going high ground for your team. Right now it looks like, hey, let's go get top. Let's finish that off. If we have any items to finish, I think you have something on the way. A blink, okay. Maybe let Zeus finish his Ags. You have a bit of time on this Aegis, so, maybe Rubik. Rubik's a little far off. I'm like willing to wait 1 minute, kind of, as we take this tower and stuff. With the tower and like maybe some farm, maybe Rubik could finish it. But I kind of feel okay to go Deso, or sorry, not Deso. AC's still a while off, so let's see what your team does. I would say we could push top. You have bottom pushed in, you have mid pushed in decently. Looks like you were checking for a rune maybe, but I would go make your way to the team, push in mid. Never mind, Zeus is doing it. It's fine, maybe he's gonna finish his Ags. Let's all regroup top. All right. So still in good shape right now, but it sounds like we're gonna throw on high ground. So let's see. You guys decide to come mid. Oh, it does not strictly matter. However, semi does, in the sense that when you push mid, it could, like, you could be attacked from the bottom side or the top side, and it can be hard to know what you should do, like where you should position. When you choose like top or bottom, you kind of like are cutting off some sections, right? Because there's the border of the map. So, for example, we could siege bottom by having the Lone Druid Bear hit this, and then Lone Druid standing a bit on the lower side, and pretty much all the heroes standing a little towards the lower end. And you can have some up here, whoever's like more survivable, perhaps your offlane Bloodseeker, or maybe the Puck, who has a lot of escapes, have them a bit more on the top to scout out people coming in. But it's a little easier to like clump up down here and feel relatively safe because you can't really be flanked by an Earthshaker down here because of this map. So that is like a minor consideration when going high ground. I'm not gonna lie, 16k lead. I guess you don't know that in the game, but you're probably feeling pretty good. I might also feel like let's just go down mid. So let's just see at least how you guys do it. The only one who should be putting himself at risk is the Lone Druid Bear. And everyone else should just be behind that bear. So let's see. Zeus TPing out. Okay, this very dangerous. I don't want to go high ground anymore. Zeus does have ult and Nimbus. However, the other spells do a lot. And let's just remove Zeus's net worth. He's got 8k. So it's now only an 8k advantage as we siege high ground. So I don't really like this TP out. It's good to defend towers in general, but this tower's not that important. At this stage of the game, it is 29 minutes. This could literally be the end of the game. Like, you have Aegis, you have a huge lead. This could end the game right here. So the other towers just honestly don't matter that much, especially tier 1 towers. Tier 2 towers also I'd be willing to throw away. Tier 3 is where it starts to get iffy, because it's like, oh, if we fail here, then like they've ratted our base. Then that's like, eh. But like a tier 1, I'm definitely willing to just throw away. So Zeus, you don't want to TP here right now. For the rest of you, you no longer want to push right now. I would say, let's go wait for Zeus. You know what? We still have 2 minutes on this Aegis. This is about a 45-second trek. So, although I don't think you should TP out, it's fine. Let's adapt to it. Everyone, make your way this way. Reconnect, farm the jungle. You know what? Maybe Rubik will finish his Ags now. And then we'll do this push in about a minute. I think if you guys try to push here, this is where you open yourselves up to throwing. Not that it couldn't work, but it's just harder than if you had everyone, right? Okay, what was I saying about Lone Druid being the only guy to go forward? So right now, Echo Slam, right? You hit at least 2 major heroes, the bear, might even hit Rubik depending where you're positioning, but I kind of think Rubik's probably somewhat okay. But this could be a huge echo into the Requiem. Instantly, 2 major heroes in a really bad spot. Now, you guys, Puck isn't a good spot to like counter initiate, and Rubik I think won't get caught out, but might, especially if like Bushwhack were to follow in or something. This kind of stuff by Bloodseeker, you definitely don't want to be here. Just let the bear do all of this. And if you want to throw in like the Blood Rites, do it from the side, not near any other hero. All right, so like this, I don't want to be too harsh, but this is horrendous. This is specifically exactly what you need to not do as a team against an Earthshaker is to clump up like this. Under no circumstances do you ever want to do this unless it's the Earthshaker right here being killed and stun locked. Then you might be allowed to run in to finish off the kill. But even then, I would be very cautious of this. So this is terrifying. We might see an echo as soon as I press play again. But before we do that, let me just add, like I'm telling you, okay, it's horrendous to risk this, right? So what are we gaining out of this? Puck and SF. Or sorry, Puck. No, sorry. SF and Hoodwink. We're dream coiling them. What if we kill them? They might have buyback. I don't know if they have buyback or not, but they might. So that's still kind of good in general, like in a vacuum, right? Force them to buy back. But we don't want to die, right? Because we are pretty ahead. Any death we have is going to hurt our momentum. So will these 2 kills end the game? Maybe. Is this worth risking a massive team loss to get these 2 kills? Like, do we need to do that? And I would say no, because you can just approach this very safely, having just the lone druid hit this and everyone stand around, even without any kills. So that's a very good question to ask yourself when coming high ground. Like, can we do this without a single kill? And if the answer is yes, then you don't need to take any significant risk to get kills. However, if you can't push high ground without kills, then that's where you might have to risk something to take a quick, double pick off like this, because you simply must do so to be able to go high ground. So for example, if this was Earthshaker and like a Coddle, I'd be way more open into this because we are killing the guy who we're scared of for the team fight, and we're killing the guy who's got massive wave clear, who's preventing us from pushing. These are not the major players. We are most terrified of an Earthshaker, and then I don't know if you know who has the most farm, but PA actually is not there right now. So actually that part does help. But I would still be very worried about this Earthshaker. Where's the Earthshaker? Earthshaker, my man. All right, Earthshaker said, no, I don't want to do that one yet. Okay, so here's our buyback. So actually, I guess this is our situation, right? We took the risk, didn't get punished for it, and, we are getting some progress from it. So do we keep going, though? Because we we used Coil, and we used, what else? We used some spells on the Bloodseeker. Rubik's still good to go. All right, so with these buybacks, I might start to feel a little scared. Especially with PA now missing. I actually missed what happened to her. I don't know if she's like still being dealt with bot. No, okay, PA disappeared. Zeus should be reporting this into the team, like PA no longer bottom. So with these buybacks, it's a 5 versus 4, and I'm very skeptical of being here anymore. I would say we just fall back here, and we're very happy with what we got. We got 2 buybacks. We got this mid tower. We still have 2 minutes on Aegis. Just fall back for about a minute. Zeus can rejoin you, and we can redo this fight with the Aegis still. It's really no different than the power spike you have right now. Except you would have your Zeus. You'd have all 5 people versus all 5 people. And when you have 20k up, then I feel good about that. So I think continuing to stay here is opening yourself up to risk. Again, might work, but this is where if the risk is going to happen, it's here. All right, remember what I said about let's just let Lone Druid do it and everyone stay in the back? So currently not doing that. Currently all very close to the Lone Druid. Lone Druid, just throwing it out there. Echo, anytime. Yeah, anytime. There's one on one here. Oh, okay, oh, well. Some opportunities for much bigger echoes, but we can take that one, sure. So here's our stun follow-ups. Here's the Lone Druid who is zoned because the bear was really low. Now he's over here. The Echo kind of controlling, the Doom controlling. Why were we able to jump Doom the Puck? Because Puck was right here on top of the Lone Druid. Why were we able to get the Bloodseeker? Because Bloodseeker was right next to the Lone Druid. They should have had to initiate on the lone druid who has Aegis, and while they're all clumped up there, then you're all free to use all your spells. But you were all way too close, and because of that, you got controlled, and now you're losing this team fight. It looks like. I think you're still going. I don't know about still going. Just saying. 50 seconds on Bloodseeker. You could actually still wait for him, have him TP in here, and have like 10, 20 seconds to push this. I mean, it would be cutting it close. I probably wouldn't do anything with it. But I'm just saying, 4v5, still missing a lot of major spells. It's kind of iffy, especially Lone Druid ult. That's the big one now. I think continuing to stay here, really opening up a lot of risk that we don't need to. Just like farm other things. Wait for your team. All right, we're scattering. This is a little scary too. How do we come back? If we can't win 5-on-5s, what should we do as the enemy team? We should take smaller fights. So, if I'm stuck in my base right now and I decide, okay, let's YOLO smoke. Let's go top. 1. Let's go mid. 1. Let's go bottom. 1, maybe 2. Right? Literally any direction the Radiant team randomly smokes in, let's assume they have no vision, they're going to find a favorable fight without all the numbers that they're worried about because your team is scattering. So if the enemy has any kind of vision right now, then they know more about where to go. So let's go take a look at their vision real quick. Oops, sorry, I gotta do it this way. So I do have 1 ward here as the Radiant. So I see Puck top, 1 Lone Druid, 1 Zeus. So if I do want to make a play, I have enough information. I'd probably... it's a little iffy. Now that you capped this, you could still go down here, though, because I think the time to rotate in would be higher. So I would say they could go bottom. I'm also okay going for the Puck because they do have, like, Fissure from Fog to initiate on Puck and catch him off guard. So, and then enough Chain Stun off of that. So I'd be okay running at Puck, but I'd say they could do anything right now. If they don't, they don't. But I'd say they could. All right, your team can at least see them mid, so now you kind of know they're not doing okay. So for Rubik, all we're doing as the Dire right now is waiting to have 5 heroes. That is our winning formula, okay? Is all we have to identify in late game decisions. Start 1. Step 1. How do we win the game? The Dire goes as 5, lets Lone Druid hit buildings. Everyone just back up the Lone Druid. Very straightforward. We don't have to do anything else fancy. We have 20k up on them. Straight line. Curved line, I guess we're going into one of the side lanes, right? L-shaped lines. Lone Druid hits it. Everyone stands behind. That is our winning formula. Anything else besides that could still work. But there's going to be more risk. So, YOLOing on your own as Rubik. Splitting off as, like, Puck without... Actually, now you have vision, from Rubik dying, so now it's kind of okay. And Puck is the most survivable hero, arguably, on the team, so if someone's going to split, I'm fine with Puck doing it. But from a Rubik's perspective, Rubik should not do this. He's asking to, like, die. And, are we going to kill him? He's coming back! Come on, we got to kill him. Kill this guy. Okay, we're going to let him live. He was in our base, alone. It's fine. It's fine. We'll let him stay. All right, see you guys still scattered. If at any point the Radiant decides to do something, they will find the fight they want, which is a fight that is not 5-on-5 because they cannot win those unless you guys all clump together into a massive echo, right? In any reasonable 5-on-5, they should lose. And anywhere they go, they could get a good fight. They still want to sit in their base, it's fine. Whatever. I'm not on the Radiant team, so it doesn't bother me that much, but a little bit. I mean, I see them scattered. You guys just go on this guy. Jump him. He's on his own. You guys are also happy with anything less than a 5-on-5. You'll win those too. All right, we're kind of going bottom. That's cool. Puck, you might want to join. Don't stay too long on your own. Now, I think you could push together as 5 right now. You could also wait for the next Aegis if you want to. Finish up some items. I would say that's a little unnecessary. At minimum, you should keep up the pressure, though. So if we're going to push one of the lanes, top seems good right now because you have 2 wards up here. So you have lots of vision if the fight falls back. And, Roche if we end up camping here for like 3 minutes. But no matter what you do, you should be like aggressively on their half of the map. together, not all split up. So right now I see 4 mid, 1 top, and I see Puck TPing to the, oh, no, change your mind. That's good. I don't want you to do that. I think you should all stay roughly together. So, like, is this really necessary? Right? Explain to me in the steps of, like, here's how we win. I cut the creep wave in their base. Totally different than killing the creep wave right here. What's the risk to me as Puck? Minimal. Much higher. So, do we need to do this? I'm not saying you're going to get killed here. There's a very high chance you just get out, right? They're not even prepared for this. Maybe you just get out. But if you were to get caught and die, would it not be like 50 times more likely right here than like out here? So this is the kind of risk, the individual playmaking risk that isn't really necessary, but massively risks the game and the lead, right? Puck 17k, one Puck gone, there's no advantage. The team can take the 5-on-4 and have no worries. So like, does Puck need to risk that? Was there a huge difference? Like, what did we gain out of that? You know, what do we gain out of this? Uh-oh. The Lone Druid's down here. So, 5-on-5, let Lone Druid do things, back him up. What are we doing? 4 in the base. No creep wave, by the way. Lone Druid down here. Lone Druid's got 16k, who I think is your carry. Will this work? It could. Again, it could. But it's not our, like, most guaranteed plan of attack. So what could happen here is that Lone Druid rats bottom while you guys take, like, an acceptable to losing fight here. And you go, well, at least we got racked even though we lost 3 heroes. And yeah, that could probably lead to victory too. But like, you could also probably take racks without losing any heroes or maybe just 1 or 2. So let's see what happens. All right, so here we are getting doomed. Our heroes who we just want to support, Lone Druid, all dying over here. Lone Druid didn't rat, has spent most of the time simply walking over. Is going to catch out this Earthshaker though, never mind. Getting feared away by the SF, so the team fight is very scattered. We got a Puck back here because he has super mobility, and then like the 2 supports back here who don't have the same mobility. So very scattered fight. Currently still fighting. All right, picking up an SF kill. Might take this mid-rax. Oh, fortified. Baiting us to stay longer. Getting a little iffy. Ooh, big echo finally on the back. Killing more supports. Alright, so we got the mid-rax. And we lost 4? Maybe 5? No, it looks like it's going to be 4 heroes. So, I mean, did we... we lost the bear, too. That's a huge cooldown. Okay, we are getting... Oh, this is getting close. I mean, like... Did we need to do it this way? And the answer is no, right? There's no time to think about this. It's not a discussion. We didn't need to do it this way. We could have done what I've been saying the whole time. Just group and go. So, all these split fights, you're talking about how you threw a 20k lead. Your friends are like, oh, how'd we do that? You don't have a 20k lead when you take these kind of fights. Your 20k guy was over here. This is an even fight. In their base, under 3 different towers, with no vision, and they have full vision because it's in their base. This is not like 20k up. This is an even game, net worth-wise, but with less heroes and a horribly positioned fight. And it's like, it's no surprise you lost it. Fair? Oh, Lone Druid doing his best here. Well, it's more like they're initiating without being like having everyone. All right. All right, I would just wait for the next Roche at this point. I would just go position top, camp up here, let Puck be the guy to cut bottom waves and stuff. Very survivable. You guys don't have to force this fight right now. Reasons we don't need to force this fight right now. We don't have Bear, the ability. So there's only 1 Bear right now who's at a 3rd health. So you don't have your backup Bear. You do have most of your abilities. So that part is fine. However, if you were to lose a fight now with the length that the death timers are, you do risk losing Roshan. I don't know if it's going to spawn, but it could, and you could lose it. So again, the safer play here, in my opinion, would be to wait for Roche. PA is dead 20 seconds, so I think that's why you guys are forcing it. And I'm kind of open to it, honestly. Echo should still be down. Looks like it is. So if you guys want to like take that risk and go for this, I'm open to it. And I mean, it is what you guys are doing. But let's not go crazy. Let's just hit the buildings. And like, let's stand behind. So like, backline support Zeus, he's like in the middle of this, right? Your lone druid, the guy I want on point, he's in the back right now. Everyone else is rushing forward because you guys are all going for kills instead of just hitting these buildings. In the like few seconds you have PA still dead. PA could have buyback. I mean, just throw it out there, right? If she were to like, if you guys were to like go way too far, she could potentially buy back. She doesn't have the gold, but you guys don't know that. All right, we do get that and we get out, right? This, guys, be very careful about these kind of TPs. Like TPing right next to their base. Everyone on your team must leave. Right now, you're up here. You're revealing that Puck, who was here, is now here. Which means if there were any stragglers in the bottom to mid, potentially the enemy team could jump at it. PA is still dead, so you're probably fine in this particular case. But SF is still like decently strong. So like, what if a support stayed too long or can't escape fast enough, right? You have to like keep in mind your team on the retreats. These creeps, maybe you miss one. That's not game changing. This guy, you know, or this guy being picked off, that is game changing. So cores, don't just like instantly TP out after you're like, after these are fallen, like in front of their base. Like get out a little further with your team and then get out. All right. Dire should just like regroup, go top. This ended up more like a replay analysis, but I guess we're talking through the decision making, so hopefully it still counts. What else we got going on here? All right, and from here, I don't know what Rubik's doing. Rubik is, not to be harsh, that is kind of a feed though. Blinks into the enemy base. No idea where the enemy heroes are. Let me tell you, if they're not out here in all the wards and the lanes, they're in the base. So not a great place to be. Rubik dies. Let's react to that. It's not the end of the game. We can still win, but we all have to get out. This is very risky now. So all of you should all leave. You should only play on your vision. And frankly, probably shouldn't even fight that hard on your vision because you, like I said, we win 5-on-5s. Anything else could work, but it's kind of a bigger risk. So right now, we should be very careful. Probably be chilling back on our own side. Looks like they smoked out while you are all still staying here. No one stayed to be the smoke breaker. Probably Rubik would have been the most prepared for it with the blink. So like stand here, break smoke, blink out, try to get away. No one was the smoke breaker for this observer. So they're walking through your vision and they're going to find... we did use Zeus ult. Looks like we're going to find the Puck. Puck going to be killed off. So off the Rubik kill, it led to a 5 versus 4. So they felt comfortable to smoke. They smoked. They did it. And now they have found another kill. That's how you come back if you're behind. You stagger kills when you have advantageous spots because the team does something bad. They're split up and you see that. Like they are now following the sequence events to come back. So the next thing they should do is probably go for Roche because you shouldn't really fight it with just 3 heroes. So we could have done Roche if we just chilled and stayed and waited for it. But we kind of like blinked in here and then didn't all stay. If 4 of you are alive, camping this side, Rubik can buy back, if he had it, you know, and be ready to defend Roche. With a bigger kill like the Puck, it's less likely Puck would buy back to defend Roche, but still could happen. And the enemy team has more confidence to do Roche now rather than when the Rubik was dead. Here, still don't have Puck, but your team is still like playing like you can. So let's go back a second here. Like, we're all scattered. We don't even see the enemy team, but we know they were all grouped up because they killed Puck here. But we're still scattered. In, like, areas we don't really have that much vision. They're not dealing with bottom right now. So guess what? They're top. So we're still scattered. We do see a couple heroes here. Moving out here, this is not the play. Staying out here, also not the play. You know, running over here, not the play. We should all just be getting out. We just need Puck to come back. Let me tell you, at most, they could possibly farm is like 4K gold. Like, if they farmed everything on the map, we all sat in our base and let them do whatever they wanted. Like, 4K max would be what they could possibly do. And at that point, we would still be 15K up, sitting comfortably. So any extra death is just continuing to snowball the series of events. So we should all play very carefully if we don't have vision already set up. If you have vision set up, it's a little different. You can play more aggressively. Right now, we have no vision. We should assume the worst. They are a 5-man kill squad looking for us. So we should position very carefully until we see differently, or until we are ready to meet their 5-man kill squad with our 5-man kill squad who has a 20k advantage, so it's much better for us. This is not our 5-man kill squad. So now, from the Rubik death originally, now we've gone into a Puck death, now we have gone into a Bloodseeker and Rubik death, and Lone Druid? No. All of this, pretty unnecessary. But we could have cut it all off at the Rubik death. The Rubik's death was unnecessary too, but like, you know, it happens, whatever, you know. They should be doing Roche. I don't know if they're doing it, but they should. We'll keep going until you like officially throw your lead. Like 15k is still pretty acceptable. You're entering the point where like starts to matter less. Okay, so speaking of mattering less, don't see any of the enemy heroes. So here we are showing top. Here we are showing bottom. Here we were recently showing mid. We're in 3 different spots. So if they go anywhere, they will find a favorable fight. They found a favorable fight. How could they have known that they could have gone to any lane and found just one hero? How did they know? Maybe they have vision, or maybe they did it blindly, but we scattered anyways. Like, we're still scattered. So, like, if they go for a follow-up kill, they will still find anyone. All your team really needs to do upon respawning, so prior to this, let's go back. Prior to this is that everyone should still be playing very safely, mostly together behind your base, and you should move as a team to de-ward and ward this part of your map, and then prepare for Roshan, get Roshan, and then do what I said earlier, which is 5 heroes come here together, but we send Lone Druid first, and Lone Druid takes this building. If they don't react to Lone Druid, they lose their base. We're happy. If they react to Lone Druid, then we react to them and take a more favorable fight. Keeping in mind wherever the Earthshaker is, because we don't want to get echoed. So this solo play, when Roche is up, unnecessary. You know, like, what is the real point of this? Now, you got unlucky, you got bashed, and you were saying, like, you don't even want to talk about it, you got baited by the courier, you know that it was dumb, so that's fair. But I just want to step back further from that. Like, we make these kind of dumb mistakes. I'm not roasting you too hard on that. But the bigger pictures that I want you to recognize a minute before this is that I don't need to do this kind of risk at all. I shouldn't even be this far out on the map if I don't have vision. I should be waiting with my team because it is still a very high chance of victory if we just wait. Now, I know you don't have the gold like indicator in the game, but you should just feel more ahead, right? You have 2 sets of racks, right? Roshan is up. It should tell you I should not take any major risk because the mostly guaranteed win condition is very clear to me. It is to get Roche and then walk in a straight line at the last set of racks. Anything that jeopardizes that plan is probably not worth it. So the beginning is to recognize the clear path to victory. And then, sure, a courier, like, you recognize it was dumb. What about a free support kill? Should I go for that? If I don't have enough vision to know guaranteed this is a solo support, I should not risk that. Because, yeah, a support kill would be nice. And yeah, it's like 50, 60% chance it works out. But there's a 40% chance of failure. And if I fail, it might snowball. We saw it earlier, right? You guys lost like 5 consecutive kills off of 1 death. So do I risk that, or do I just wait and take this more guaranteed path to victory? We should wait and go for this guaranteed path to victory. So let's see what ends up happening. Your team, you know, still reacting, still like, oh, let's go get someone. 2 versus how many? I don't know. I see 1 hero mid, so there could be 4 heroes here. The other 2 are like scattered over here. We're gonna stop soon because I feel like we're just repeating the exact same mistakes. Your team's about to lose Roche, even though you should have had Roche. Taking another bad fight. Pikachu face. I can't believe you guys are losing a 3v2. Whoa! How did it happen? All right, here we are still considering fighting 3v5. Does that make sense? They're not in their base. They're not in the mid lane. They just took Roche. We know there was multiple heroes up here. I wonder where the enemy team could be. They're probably very close to this area. So we should not be here. Okay, SF actually showing back here. So now it's like, okay, 3v4. Should we take that? Probably not. You know, at this point, you don't have a lead, really. You're 11k up, but that doesn't really mean much at this stage of the game. It's all about execution, how you take fights. Your team still massively scattered. And frankly, you identified a lot of this in your post. I'm just kind of repeating it for the video and for everyone. This is why I think it's really nice that you guys like did timestamps and stuff in some of your comments, and like explain what you think went wrong, because I think you actually figured it out on your own, you know? And that's exactly what I hope we can help lead to on this channel, is that you guys start to identify your own mistakes. But I will be here to verify them with things like this video. And then hopefully, like, if you couldn't do it, now you can. Or at least in this particular case, you understand what went wrong, and we build the knowledge base that way. We will stop here. At this point, I feel you have thrown away your fairly secure lead. We could keep going, but the video will just keep getting longer. If you didn't get picked, don't worry. I am going to actually make another video going over a couple more of these. If you still didn't get picked after that, don't worry. We'll continue to do these kind of replays where we ask for match IDs and stuff. But yeah, next time we do ask for match IDs, consider that Zach is more likely to pick IDs that have more timestamps and thought put into it, because I think it just helps us in all fronts. It helps me, help you, help me. So that's great. Okay, thanks for watching this one. I hope it helped. Give me your feedback. Always appreciate that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.